Hello guys, this is Justice. Lawson and I have decided to record some tutorials for those who are beginning to learn how to use the AutoCAD to draw 2D drafts, and we are going to record a series of tutorials until we get to a point where we think that it is enough so that it can help those who are now learning how to use the software. So today I'm the one going to record today's tutorial, and next time is going to be Lawson's turn, and I'm going to talk about how to use the drawing tools in the drawing panel. It is very important to know how each of the tools work and how to use them, when to use them and when not to use them. So without much ado, let us pop in and start work. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to introduce you to are the tools in the draw panel. We have about 5 panels around here, 5 to 6 panels around here: draw, modify, annotation, layers, and block. And all these panels contains tools. Today we are going to take a brief look at the draw panel. The first tool in the panel I would like us to consider is the line tool. If anytime you want to use a tool from any panel, you just click on it. That is the easiest way to go by it. And if you know the shortcut or the name of the tool, you just type in the name of the tool. Just start typing, then it will bring up a pop-up in which the name of the tool will appear. Then you choose from it, then you start using. But the easiest way is to choose from the tools in the panel. So you select line tool, and when you select, you'll be asked to specify the first point of the line. So we use left clicking to place points. For example, when you're opening a circle, when you're starting a polyline and arc, we use the left mouse button to input the point command. So when this is specify a point, we have to use the left mouse button. So you specify the first point on your graph, and when you specify, the line will be anchored at where you have specified the first point, and you can move it in any direction and to any distance that you want. And if you notice, as I am moving the line up, you realize that they are writing a certain angle. That is the angle it makes to the positive horizontal, and they've highlighted a box with some digits in it, and they've written some value. That value is the length of the line that I have I'm coming to draw. So if I want to enter a specific length, then I'll just go to my keyboard and type in the length of the line, maybe 200 units, 200. And if I want to specify the angle of inclination it makes with the positive x-axis, what I will do is that I'll press the tab key on the keyboard, and it will take me to the angle box where I can specify the angle of inclination. So I'll press tab, it will take me, the current one is I think 18, 20. You can specify by moving it or just type in the angle. I like to type in 30 degrees, so 30 on the keyboard will give me. So it will snap the line to a distance of 200 meters in a direction of 30 degrees to the positive x-axis. You can change the axis from which you measure your angle. It depends on you. And when the line is drawn, you still have the opportunity to draw another line starting from the point that you ended. You have the opportunity to draw another line starting from the point. So you can also repeat the same process as how you did it. But if you want to know where the angle is measured from, look at the line, that horizontal line. Just look at where the arc has been drawn. You see where the angle is measured from. Then you know how much to input. So you can draw as many lines as you want. Now the next command is going to be the polyline. The polyline is like the line, but you enter a series of lines and arcs, and after submitting the command, after submitting the line, you realize that all the segments all together will be considered as one profile. Unlike the line, in which when I drew the lines, every line is considered as a single profile, in the sense that when I select one of the lines, only that line is highlighted. If they were all a single profile, then if I selected a single line, then all the lines will be highlighted with it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So select the polyline, then you start drawing the same way as you draw a line. You specify your first point and you continue, then you specify the distance and the angle, whichever you want to do, using the tab key to navigate between. Then the next point, the other points, then come back to our origin. You press enter. Now what you see is that when I place the cursor on the polyline, all of the entire profile is selected, meaning the entire profile is one geometry. But when I place it on the line the geometry that I drew with the lines, when I place it on one side of the triangle, only that side is selected as a geometry. This tells you that all the three geometries are separate, they are different. So that's the difference between the polyline and the circle. The circle, you have about 6 forms of circles. You have one circle that will ask you for the center and the radius of the circle, and as usual, you have to left click to specify the center. Then you open it up. Then you can input in the radius of the circle with your keyboard. Maybe I want a radius of 60 degrees. Then you press enter, then it will snap it to a circle of 60 degrees. A circle of 60 units radius. The next type of circle will be a center diameter circle, where you will be asked to specify the center and the diameter. So the value you enter will be the diameter of the circle. So 120 will give me this type of circle. Then you have a 2-point circle, where you are asked to specify 2 points where the circle you're going to draw will touch. So for example, if the circle is going to touch this part of this circle and the other part and this part of the circle, then I select one of the points first, then move my cursor while holding the left mouse button down to the next point. So that is how the 2-point circle works. Then 3 points, as usual, you will be demanded to give them 3 points as the 2 points was done. Then the tan, that one you're going to draw a circle. You use it when you're going to draw a circle that is tangent to 2 other circles. So if I want to draw a circle that is tangent to these 2 circles, I'll select it. You realize that a green symbol has been shown. It shows that I can select it as a tangent to the new circle. So I will select this circle and this circle also. Then I'll be asked to enter the radius of the new circle that's going to be the tangent. So I can enter maybe a radius of 80. Then press enter. So this new circle is going to be nothing less than a tangent to these 2 circles that you selected. The same thing applies to the tan. That one, you wouldn't need to enter any radius. You only need to enter pick 3 circles. So for example, 1, 2, 3, and the circle will be drawn that touches all the three circles. The next one is the arc. The arc feature, if the first one, the arc tool, the first one is the 3-point arc, where you'll be asked to specify 3 points where the arc will touch and pass. So for example, if I choose this tool, I'll be asked to give the first where the start point of the arc, then the second point, then the third point. Anyhow you move it depending on the arc you want to draw. The second type I will introduce you to is the start, center, end. And that start, center, end arc is going to be you'll be asked for the start, of course, then the center. Then that center, the distance between the center and the start will be the radius of the arc. Then you'll be asked to move the end point. That will determine the circumference of the arc. You move the radius will be the same, but the circumference will depend on the last point that you select. Will be like this. You see this arc. Then the next one, I will introduce you to a start, center. You'll be asked for the start. You show the center, then you specify the angle. Then start, center, then the length of the I think you can follow that. It is quite simple. The next tool is the rectangular tool, the rectangle tool. The rectangle tool, I hope you see a highlighted set of digits. That is the length. The first box takes in the length of the rectangle, and the second box takes in the width of the rectangle. So you specify the first corner points of the rectangle, and you can move about in any direction. You can move about in any direction. Now, if you the dimension, the length and the breadth, you just enter maybe 100. Then you press the tab key to switch to the width. Then you give your value, maybe 200 units. Press enter. So your width is going to be 200 and your length is going to be 100. The next thing is the ellipse. The next thing is the polygon. The polygon, first of all, you specify the size of the polygon. I would choose 7. Press enter. Then you'll be asked to specify the center of the polygon. Then a polygon can be inscribed in the circle or circumscribed in the circle, so you choose which one. When you choose inscribed in a circle, then you have to specify the radius, because all the vertices of the polygon has to touch the circumference of the circle in which it is found. So it means that from the center of the polygon to the vertex of the polygon, that distance is going to be equal to the radius of the circle. So you just enter a radius of maybe 40. Then you have such a polygon. Then another type of the polygon is the one circumscribed around it. I'll choose 8 this time. Press enter. Specify the center. Then circumscribe about the circle. You can also specify the radius, but the circle will be inside, so maybe a radius of 100, and that's all. The next tool is the ellipse tool. The ellipse tool, you draw an ellipse. The first type of ellipse will ask for the center of the ellipse. You specify by left clicking. Then you specify either I would prefer that you always specify the horizontal distance or the vertical distance, the horizontal radius or the vertical radius first. So this is going to be my horizontal radius. That is going to be 180. I press enter. Then I'll be asked for my vertical radius. That will determine how wide the ellipse is going to be in the vertical direction. So I can choose the one to be 70. Then I have my ellipse snapped for me. The next type of ellipse is going to be the axis and the end. You have to specify the axis like this. Then it means that you specify the entire, how do I say it, the entire maybe diameter of, if it were a circle, the entire diameter, the distance from one end to the other end. And you then specify the other radius like this. Then you just snap, or you can enter the value, then just click. That's all. The next tool I will introduce you to is the ellipse. Sorry is the hatch tool. The hatch tool is used for performing shades. You have the hatch. It will use either lines, or it will color it a solid color, or you can apply gradient fill, where one part will have a color and the other part will have another color, or you can just color the boundary. So if you want to apply it, just select hatch, first one, then it will open its own panel. My laptop is a little bit it will open. Then you go to select, then you select the object in which you're going to apply the shade, but make sure that the object you're going to shade in is enclosed and there is no space around it. So this circle is enclosed and there is no space. So I'll just select the object and it will shade it for me. This is the option that has been selected. That is why you see it like this. But if you want to change the type of shade, you can choose from here, or if you want more, you can hit on this drop down button and open more, then choose any that you want depending on your style of choice. So I will choose this one. It looks quite clean. Then you can also use the pick point option, where you'll be asked to pick a particular point in the geometry, not all the geometry, a particular point in the geometry. This time I'm going to apply solid, so I may be asked to select a point. Maybe I want solid, so I press solid, then I come here. You realize I've placed a point in this enclosed arc-like region, and it has painted this part alone. I hope you follow. So that is it for the hatching. You can also apply the gradient hatching also, where you have different colors. You can dictate which color you want and the way the gradient will flow. So if I select here, it will paint this place as a gradient. I can also remove any hatch you apply. I have so many options there. You can change the colors from here also. Then the next tool that I'm going to introduce you to is the spline tool. The spline tool is used to draw a series of curves at various distances. For example, you specify the first point after selecting the spline tool 1. Then when you click for the second point, it will draw an arc between those 2 points. And as you move the point about, the arc will be changing in relation to the new position of the point, like this. So you should be careful what you are doing. You should know what the shape you are drawing. So something like this. Then you press enter. So that is it. This one is not usually used. I haven't used it so much. And I'll also introduce you to the construction lines, where you can construct a line, an infinite line that runs from an infinite right to an infinite left. So for example, if I choose this, I will be asked for a point where I can draw. Anytime I select the construction line, I can draw a number of them at the same time without exiting the command. So I'll specify the point where all the construction lines I'm going to draw at this moment will meet. So I draw the first one, I move my cursor to show me where the construction line is heading into the direction. So I want a vertical one, then I click. It will give me to open chance for another construction line, and I will need to specify the direction also. I need a horizontal one, so and I also click. Then I have the opportunity to draw as many as I want. Then when I'm done, I right click or I press enter, then it will exit the command. Notice whenever you want to specify a construction line at another point, you have to start the command all over, and even it doesn't do it, will always snap to the middle of where where you started the first one from. That's how the construction line works. And the next one is the point, where you can allot points in various parts of a drawing. As you see here, you can allot a point maybe here. Sorry, it's just lagging. Sorry. I've allotted a point here and another one here, so I can use it for anything I want, and I can join those 2 points with a line. So if you want to maybe create a false point, a false center in a circle, you can do that also, just to create a point. The next item on the list is going to be the helix. Creates a 2D spiral. I haven't used it so much before, but I think it's going to be very easy. Once you know how to go about the rest of the tools, it's going to be very easy. But for the sake of time, let us go to the more familiar ones that I wish to show you. You can also draw a ray. A ray ranges from a point to infinity, depending on the direction that you choose for it. Now, when you draw a geometry may have dimensions. For example, a line will have a length and a direction. So if you want to know the direction of a line, if I draw this line and I miss the direction, I want to find out the length and the direction of the line. I will select the line by left clicking, then I will place my cursor on one of these ends, these boxes, one of these blue boxes. When I place it there, it is going to give me the direction. From there you see the arc from where it measured the angle from, so you'll understand. So it will give you the length of the line and the direction. Now the length is 1959.8786. that's the length, and the angle is 151 from the positive x-axis. Now when you place it on it, you have the option to stretch the line further, so you press stretch. It means that you can move the line about and add an additional line either in the same direction or in another direction. This yellow dashed line will guide you, and the blue and the green lines will also guide you to draw it. Maybe you want to add another segment to the line. If you want to add maybe 100, I'll just type in, after selecting the stretch, type in maybe 500, then press enter. It will add 500 units to the previous line. I can also apply a lengthening where I will input a whole different length altogether. So I think that is it with the length. And for a circle also, or any ellipse, you can just click on the ellipse. You place the cursor on one edge of where the boxes are. It will show you the two types of radar that you have, the horizontal and the vertical. Here it is 180 and 70. And also if it's a rectangle, it can also show you, when you place it on one corner, it will show you the length and the breadth. Then you can make reference to be sure. And when you have a rectangle, you can also edit it by stretching the vertices, or you can also add another vertex. You can stretch the vertex, maybe edit it like this. You can just merely select it, hold your mouse button down and move it around to any new point you want to move. You can also select this bar. There is a bar in the middle. You can move this side of it up or down in any direction you want. So that is it for the rectangle. The next property to talk about is the arc. Let me see what the arc has to offer. The arc gives you the angle. You can see how it has labeled the angle and the radius of the arc also. You can choose to stretch it or lengthen it. Then whenever you are drawing, when you start a command and you realize that is not what you want to do, or you are stuck up somewhere, you don't know what to do, the only way to exit a command that is very efficient is the escape key. You press escape. For example, if I was going to choose polyline and I mistakenly choose circle, I realize a circle, I'll just press escape, it will exit, then I'll go for my polyline. Otherwise, I can also, if I mistakenly choose circle instead of polyline, I can click I can right click, then go to cancel. If I went to enter, you would admit the new radius that you've given. It will take in the new radius. It's like pressing the enter key. And another way of repeating the previous command, the previous tool, is to press the space bar or the enter. You see, specify center point of circle. I was drawing a circle. The last command was a circle. So when you press the enter or the space bar, it will ask you it will take you to the most recent tool. So I think that is it for today. I think it is enough for the drawing tools, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope they benefit you also. If you have any concerns or any suggestions, any comments, you can talk to either Lawson about it, and we will make sure that if it's a correction, we do it so that our future videos will be better. We are also planning of introducing a YouTube channel, so we also seek for your support and push as well. Thank you very much. We love you all, and all the best in your exams. Bye bye.